My name is Ruben Chata. I'm a teacher at Tobias Hanyeko in the Gatima circuit in the Zambezi region. I gained a lot. You know, this is what people really need, you know, in the society. I gained to know, you know, the ways that people are being, you know, being violated unknowingly, and this has helped me a lot. It starts with me before I can inform the other people next to me. What can be done is, first of all, information should be carried out. People should understand what is sexual violence, or what is gender-based violence, and all other aspects pertaining to that, so that when you have the knowledge, it's easier for you to know how to tackle such a problem.
There was this scenario whereby it's a grade 5 learner. If grade 5 learner gets pregnant, you know, these kids nowadays, they have this body, you can imagine that it's a lady.
Men have a big role to play. First and foremost, we men are known to be the head of the house. So with that at the background, when a man strives forward, the rest will follow. For example, if men talk about this in their homes, they talk about it in churches, they talk about it in schools, you know, this now becomes something which is very common. If we talk about other illness or anything that has been spread or has been talked about in different societies, when men was involved, it became a very big and successful achievement. So when we talk about gender-based violence and then we involve men, they have a bigger role to play because they will be the instigators of change. Oh, like I said, you know, once you get information, this is where now the problem comes. There are people who have information but don't know how to spread it. Now with me, how I would use it personally, I would first, you know, engage with my fellow male peers, because it will first start with me. I've learned a lot. Then from there it goes on to the school. I can involve, you know, discussions with the school learners, especially the boys, to know the importance and the risks involved. And then the school at large, it goes on until everybody or every ear has heard the importance of knowing that gender-based violence is a serious concern within the society.
So, how can you even try to try to help on that situation? There's no way, unless the mother and the father are educated about those things. Otherwise, the parents are less involved in this education about rape. They don't keep it. Like you said, here in Zambezi region, we are more on culture. We are basing more of culture than education. Education here, we say, seems to have all of it done. But it's the truth. But that's how the girls are losing their way.
In order for you to punish somebody, you should already know there's already an outcome. If you do this, you will get out. So if these men who are doing rape could actually be getting what they're supposed to be getting, I think that will solve.
So I felt better.
Okay.
Then I felt there was no need even to consult, because it was that process I felt. I don't know why crying. I found it as if it's a healing nature, whereby you just feel you are back to yourself. I think that's where maybe most people take decisions negatively if they do not go through that process.
That's why I want to cry also.
Okay. Why did you not reach out to your friends?
Actually, I found I valued myself.
And you must tell men it's okay. Just like how you were crying in the soccer when men you lost. You must express your emotion. If your girlfriend has dumped you, your wife has cheated on you, express that hurt. Yes.
If we want to start this change, let's start with this information before it's rotten. Because it will end up getting rotten in our laptops, in our papers, because we haven't checked anything. Just as much as we can bring it to set together, we can still bring people together. So this change is more important.
The program is working out there. I would say 60% they are informed, but just that the devil is at work. Thank you.
Coach. Yes.
So how is it that one man can see two young girls and work with them to help them build their future, and other men, when they look at young girls, they see it as an opportunity to exploit them sexually? So I find that quite fascinating. And how do we move to a society where we have men in our society that can create a conducive space, especially for adolescent girls and young women, so that they can thrive and that they feel protected and free from sexual violence? So I hope that you will become our advocates out there and you will speak. I hope first and foremost that the message will resonate with yourselves. And that if there are any men here that had a propensity for violence, that have a short fuse, that are very quick to do this, that you would consider seeking help first and allowing yourself the space to be vulnerable, to grieve if you're having difficult circumstances. The change must start with yourselves. It is a journey and it takes a while. But I also hope that from this group there will be men who will recognize that if I hit my head and I don't know where, I must try and find help. There are social workers out there, there are psychologists out there. Who can I go to? My hope is that from the group of men here, as we were talking about HIV, that if you have not been tested, your fears for living a life with HIV would have been alleviated, because we now have good treatment mechanisms, and we know that you can achieve.
Yeah. We speak to our cousins, we are uncles, we speak to our nephews, we speak to our kettle boys, we speak to other people. We also bring change. But one real thing that we need to understand is that sex is a big industry. I want to talk about that drawing you have put there, that iceberg. We live in a community where poverty is real. So you find that this poverty gives birth to sex in such a way that when cases happens, when rape happens, bribes are there in the family. So it makes it difficult for families, for people to report to the police. So we need to find a mechanism on how to deal with this poverty. That's the root cause of this rape.
As if men are just brick walls. We're not supposed to show any emotion. Okay, you also had a contribution. What should we do as men to attain what you just shared with us? The one-word description you shared.
I said peace. I can also put the scenario of a car. The relationship is like a car. There's good in having that car, like you are driving with the whole family. But there's also a bad in it. You can have an accident anytime. So when you know what are the weaknesses in the relationship and how to get around them, then you have peace. Hence the car will move until its destination.
Okay. So it needs a collective approach.
Yeah.
We all need to work together to address all of these issues. Yes, sir.
Okay, as men we must be caring in the sense that the caring should be in the form of...
We really need to take charge of our health, especially when it comes to SRH. All right, next question. Next statement. Oh, okay, yes, sir.
Okay, before I read this one, and one other thing, men tend to think that a dry vagina, to them, it's much healthier than the one which is wet, because you don't even go for a foreplay. You just hammer straight, and those cracks gives you a high chance of getting HIV. So relax, take it easy, it's yours once it's given. This one, it's a myth.
Yes.
There are 2 points here.
Repeat the statement? Yes.
If I'm receiving treatment, I can't spread the HIV virus.
So it's an effect myth or unsure?
It's a myth.
It's a myth, like we don't have to go into that one as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because I'm
Then
sure.
there's another one. HIV always leads to AIDS. It's a big fact.
It's a big fact.
No.
Why do you
We are
say
all
so?
HIV. It's just that it's negative. So anytime it can tend to be positive.
There are a lot of people right now who have been taking their medication quite well and they are unable to transmit because the viral load has been suppressed. Because HIV is a really huge issue, especially when it comes to our age. So we really need to have a better understanding. A lot of investment needs to be done when it comes to awareness around HIV now. So please share with us.
Yeah, what we are trying to understand here, we are saying, if you are taking your medication very well, it means you cannot transmit HIV or whatever else to HIV. Okay? You have proven that scientifically.
Yes.
It's a scientific, so it's a fact.
Yes, it's a fact.
Have you tested it on each and every person that you think this one's how do you call it, blood cells are strong enough? Because there are those, yes, who can do that, but that is one reason now AIDS is being transmitted so fast, because people think it cannot go. Well, it can, because you want to know what the blood cells hold. Yes, you can trust the medication, but HIV is a virus. So when you give it medication, it's just like you give someone a dose of sleeping. You understand? But it goes. So when it wakes up in the other person's body, which is not protected.
Okay, so do you want to answer? Yes.
Okay, it's like if someone is taking medication, how will the person, how will I know that the virus in this person is suppressed or not yet suppressed? Because someone, I heard this from a nurse. That means she said to me that the person can be on medication and then it can be suppressed, and then someone can still be on medication but the virus is not yet suppressed. So how will we know that this person is taking medication but the virus is suppressed now and it's not yet suppressed?
Let me just explain. So the idea behind the statement is actually meant to try and encourage you. If you know that you are HIV positive, so you can get on treatment, so that we as men know the importance of accessing treatment. So there's a way that if you adhere, you take your treatment and you adhere to treatment, it has a greater chance of getting you to a stage where the virus in your body becomes suppressed. And if you have achieved viral suppression, it means that you're able to live longer. It has more health benefits for you. And it can relay the message to all the other civil society organizations. We have Lifeline here, we have Project Hope, you have NAPA, Staff for Life, with all of these organizations. And all of them have a target of what was meant. So that should be possible. So that's what should be definitely possible.